Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you guys are doing great. So the Q1 earnings season has started, and before the complete results come out, we have already started getting business updates from quite a few companies, and the companies which I track, I'll provide an update in this video about their recent results, and we'll look at it. How does the number look? Does it make it look at a good sign or a bad sign? Or and if you have the information about the competition, I'll try to share about that also. So the companies that I'm going to cover today are going to be V2 Retail, V-Mart, Bazaar Style, Aeroflex Industry, Purple United, and Cupid Ltd. So we're going to go through their business update. So if you look from the V2 retail perspective, right? So they reported that their revenue for Q1 of FY27 grew by almost 58% YOY to 997 crores. Obviously, we do not have the update on the margins or the profit. That will come only when the complete results are out. So we have to wait for that. So once that comes up, I'll definitely share it with you. In terms of same store sales growth, if you see, it stood at around 7.5%. And for the Q1 of FY27, they have opened almost 57 stores. And if we look at their target, right, they're told that they're going to, add almost close to more than 200 stores in FY27. They're actually on track. If I take this number of 57, and if they're able to open the similar kind of numbers for the next 3 quarters also, they're going to have almost more than close to around 200 and extra 220 stores. So as of now, their total store counts at 381. I know a lot of questions are coming about the SSG. It's still low at around 7.5%, but one need to consider, right, that while calculating the same store sales growth, the new stores are also getting added into it, and these new stores normally take some time to get matured and to contribute much more meaningfully. That is the reason why the numbers look little low, but I don't think it's a sign of concern at all. And let's look at V-Mart. Obviously, V-Mart is in competition of V2 Retail. If you look at them, right, so their sales grew at around 23%. They haven't given any numbers in terms of the overall sales. So it's at 23, which is, I would say, decent. And if you look at the same store sales growth, that stood quite good at around 9%. And in terms of the number of stores that they have opened, they have opened around only 15 stores and closed one. So as of now, their total store count is around 591. So if you look at the V-Mart result, right, if I take it as a separate, as an individual, the numbers might look good. Sales is growing by 23%, and SSG is around 9%. But we need to compare it with competition also. That I will do it later because we still have one more company to cover, which is Bazaar Style. So if you look at for them, their revenue grew by almost 29% to 486 crores. Their same store sales growth stood at around 7%. And for them, they have opened only around 18 stores, and they have closed 5 stores in Q1 of FY27. And they have total of 276 stores. So if we look at again the individual number, it might look decent. The sales is growing by almost 29%, and SSG is decent at around 7%. But when we look at the competition, right, both Bazaar Style and V-Mart are lagging behind, because V-Mart almost grew their sales, if I compare to Bazaar Style, almost double, which is at 58%. And in terms of V-Mart, more than double, right? And one need to understand, whenever there's any sector there, right, no matter how much, even if the company is going at the rate of 23, 24, 25, but if there is a leader which is growing at a higher rate, the market will reward that company compared to the others. So that's one thing that person need to look into it. So on its own, if you look at it for Bazaar Style and V-Mart, the sales number, the revenue growth looks quite decent. But if you look at the competition, it obviously it's pale into comparison. Obviously, we need to look at the margins and the profit and everything which will happen. That obviously will come when the complete results are out. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. And if I get a chance, right, I will definitely make a comparison video between all the companies which are related to, in affordable clothing, from V-Mart to V2 Retail and to Bazaar Style. So these were the updates from the retail side. And if you look at another company, which is Aeroflex Industry, I've already made a video on this. I would encourage you guys to go back to that video and look what the company does and what are they, doing differently. So actually, for this company, the biggest update is related to their liquid cooling, which they had started. So if you would have noticed, last year they set up a new, production facility for this, where the capacity was around 6,000 pieces per annum for this liquid cooling SNF kit. Now it has increased by almost 50% to 9,000 pieces per annum, which is actually quite a great sign, because this is where, because this liquid cooling SNF kit, they are used in data centers, and the demand is quite high, because in last year they were able to sell only around 500 of these units, but for the first quarter of FY26 and 27, they were able to sell almost 1,040 units of this SNF kit assemblies. So that actually looks a great sign, because this is where the change is happening for the company and where the growth is coming from. And for me, the way the numbers show, they are going in the right direction. Obviously, we have to wait for the complete number in terms of the margins, in terms of the revenue and the extra cost that has been put to set up this new facility. But as of now, what the number has come from Aeroflex Industry, it looks quite good. And the next company that I'm going to give the update is about Purple United. So obviously, on this also, I've already made a video. They are into kids' clothing and shoes and accessories, and they're only into a premium category. So the recent update came that they've opened around only three new stores in Q1 of FY27. For me, that is a bit concerned, because if you would have attended their con call for Q4 of FY26, they had said that they want to double their stores by the end of FY27. So at the end of FY26, their total number of stores was around 100 and around close to 111, and by FY27 they wanted to reach close to more than 200. So that means then they would need to add close to around 90, close to around 90 to around 90 stores. But if we look at it for the Q1, they have added only around 3 stores. So and if it and if they have to achieve the 200, then there's a gap of almost close to 80 to 85 stores, and they have only 3 quarters left. So that means for every quarter they need to add around 28 stores every quarter. And if I take that further in terms of if I divide it per as per days, like for every 3 days they need to open 3 stores. This is very important for them, is right, because they have promised something in the market, and market is already assuming, not assuming, I would say market is already expecting them to achieve that. And I hope they achieve it for themselves as well as for their shareholders, because if they are not able to deliver on this promise, right, the market will badly punish them. The way the numbers that have come right now, this looks very challenging, but definitely not impossible if they have to open 28 stores every 28 stores every quarter. Because if I take it divided by every month of the quarter, it's only around 9 stores per month. So that looks possible, but definitely that doesn't look impossible at all. But we have to wait and see in Q2 and how does the number. For me, I expect them to at least open around close to 30 stores. Let's see what is the management says further. And the last one that I want to talk about is Cupid Limited. So they are into the sexual wellness products, and they make these male and female condoms. Over here, I think one of the best update that have gone, because at the end of FY26, the management has said that they're going to achieve a revenue of around 600 crores by end of FY27. Now the management has come forward and they said they're increasing their revenue guidance by another 10% from 600 to 660 crores. Let me talk to you in numbers, right? So if you look at the end of FY26, the revenue was around 391 crores. And if I take their earlier guidance, which was around 600 crores, that is a growth of almost 53%. Now, with the 60 crores added further, now the revenue would grow at almost close to around 68.7% target they're giving, and which is quite great. Okay. And if they're able to deliver it, I think it is still going to trade at this high P, which is already being traded, because the market is confident that they're going to achieve their growth, and it's looking from the forward perspective. And the other important thing which they said, right, that in Q1 they expect to do a revenue of around 150 crores. If I compare it with the last year, that is a growth of almost 130%. So for me, if you look for Cupid, right, everything is literally going right for them. Whatever changes they did in their business in the past couple of years, obviously it has started bearing fruit, and at the same time, the growth is not slowing down. And the management, obviously, no management will come out and just say that they're going to, increase their guidance. They're increasing their guidance because they know that it is possible to achieve. So that's all the update for as of today. As new and further updates come, I'll definitely keep you guys posted. At the same time, I'm planning to do a video on on Saturdays where I teach about the basic of the stock market and everything. So definitely keep an eye on that. The videos will start coming out from this Saturday. So if you like this video, please do hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you.